All right, it is Thursday's practice, and this is the biggest practice of the week. It always is. It's always the practice that is most intense. You typically get the shells and the padded practice, and is not a direct correlation to who will be available, but it is a sign in the right direction, and we have some good stuff, most things considered, for the practice update. So let's start with some good news. Wide receiver Jauan Jennings has returned to practice per Nick Wagner, and you love to see it. Obviously, Jauan missed last week. He's been dealing with injuries all season, including the offseason. And so the fact that Jauan Jennings is back in action at 49ers practice is a great sign for the San Francisco 49ers. So you love to see that. Another player who is back in action is defensive tackle Alfred Collins. He was dealing with a bit of an injury, popped up on the injury report after the game against the Rams, but the fact that he is back at practice is a good sign. And quietly, the San Francisco 49ers are getting some of their defensive tackle depth back. Kevin Givens back, CJ West back, Kalia Davis back. So that is good stuff. That's good news for the 49ers, especially for that defensive line group who's already without Nick Bosa. Obviously, a lot of people want to know what is going on with Ricky Pearsall and Brock Purdy. Both did not practice today. However, both were seen working off to the side. And typically, what that is an indication of is they're going through their rehab process. So, not terrible. I mean, the fact that they're off to the side, working, running, stretching, doing all those kinds of things, at least, is an indication that they are trying to be back on track. And so, again, we'll see. John Lynch talked about Brock Purdy's potential return and when that timetable might be. He was non-committal, didn't want to give too much information about that. So I would expect Brock Purdy to miss probably a couple weeks, and we'll see how it goes from there. But that also means that Mac Jones is very likely going to be your starting quarterback in this upcoming game against the Bucks. So Mac versus Baker, going to be a very interesting one to see how all of this goes. But just looking at some practice videos coming out of 49ers facility, looks like he's moving well, that being Jauan Jennings. So he is probably going to go and going to be ready to thrive, hopefully, with guys like Kendrick Bourne, among others. So it does feel like the 49ers are trending to be without Ricky Pearsall, but it is what it is. So I'm seeing this right now from Nick Wagner. He says Mac Jones, who's dealing with a knee and oblique, is again in uniform in Thursday's practice, but didn't do much throwing during individual periods open to the media, and hardly anything beyond soft tossing. Was mostly Adrian Martinez in the open part of practice. Now, we did see Mac Jones throwing yesterday in practice, so that was a pretty promising sign. I don't believe that this is an indication of a setback or anything like that. It could just be, you know, making sure he could go out there yesterday and, seeing how he responded today. That's always an element to this as well. So interesting to see if we'll hear any more about why Mac Jones didn't seem to be that involved today in practice, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, if it is anything, I would imagine it's more of just precautionary than anything else. So those are your 49ers practice updates. Let me know what you think. Is Mac going to be good to go? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.